Yeah, it appears not everybody is a huge fan of fiber optics. So it's really hard to put into perspective just how wide this landscape is. I think you can easily see 30 miles north and 30 miles west. So I mean, this is like single zoom, double zoom, 5 times zoom. So you can see the mountains back there. Those are 30 miles away, 35 miles away. And there's a lonely hiker going that way. So as always, things don't really work out as planned. The road out of Pi Town North is a pretty substantial stretch. I'd say about 25 miles of road walking on a county road where the speed limit is 55 miles per hour. So you got cars and ranches going up and down that road. And I walked down it a little bit and then I realized this is not going to be fun at all. So I stuck out my thumb, and the next person who pulls up is actually a person who lives just nearby and by on the road. And he offered me a ride up the road where the road actually turns into a trail again. And so I was able to skip that section. And so now I think I probably skipped a day of hiking right here. So now I can use that day to actually explore the Malpais National Monument that we are about to walk into. And the other thing is, we were in the car for about 40 minutes. We had an extremely interesting conversation about this area, and why there's a lot of people here and what these people are doing, and just how they think, how the cattle system works, or it doesn't work, what the effects of the droughts are. And I really love these conversations of just getting in touch with people that you meet along the way that live in this environment. And hitching is an absolutely fantastic way of doing that. And funny thing, he also had a little dog called Oliver, and he just wanted to give me kisses all the time. So a little lap dog, a real cutie. Pi Town was also a great experience. So from yesterday's video, you could tell that I was going a little bit insane from that road walk. And about 7 or 8 miles into the road walk, actually the first car that pulled up gave me a ride, so I could kind of skip the last 4 miles of road walking and keep my sanity. And that also led to the fact that I was already in town by I think 10:30 in the morning or so. So we spent the better part of the day in the girl gathering place, which is the local restaurant. And they are such kind people. It's a tiny room, maybe 20 slots, and half of those slots were at any given time occupied by a bunch of half dirty, half smelly hikers. But we ate their menu up and down, and they are really trying to do everything they can to support us hikers. They had like a box storage where you could send resupply boxes. They had little things that they would sell for resupply, and they had food and drinks. So we spent the better part of that day there. And because there's a huge wave of hikers coming in from trail day still, they're all kind of clumped up in Pi Town. And it was more or less the consensus that we would all stay at the Toaster House. So I'd say the Toaster House, which is like an abandoned building that was donated to the CDTC a while ago because the original owner who supported hikers died. So now it's just an empty building that can be used by hikers. I think there were at least 15 people staying there last night. People were sleeping on the kitchen floor, living room floor, a couple of old mattresses as well. But it was nice that we had a roof over our head, and it was actually a storm that came through last night, so there was quite a bit of rain and a storm going on, so a lot of people were happy to have a roof over their head. And then the better part of this morning was again spent at the gathering place, just having breakfast. I got some editing done, some uploading done, and some file management. It just takes a long time actually getting these videos out, filming them, and doing it all in your phone. So I usually need a couple of hours in town just to get all the videos sorted. And that's of course time that cuts out of interaction with other hikers, that cuts out of other chores that you have to do, such as get your resupply, figure out where you're going, set up your electronics, figure out the next and second next stop, kind of make mid to long-term plans. So yeah, I'm trying to find some way to reduce the time that I need for video editing in town. So what I try to do is get most of the rough editing out of the way in the evenings already when I'm in between towns, so it doesn't all clump up and take out of my time into town. Now the other thing that I was able to do in Pytown, because I spent a good day there and also had water and some time, I got to do some real foot care, actually take off all the old aids, do some cutting, some disinfecting, draining, and just generally taking care of them, and put the feet up for a while and just not walk on them all the time. So the foot does feel a lot better today, and I really hope that it lasts well into the stretch, and that hopefully I'm not facing any new issues. Otherwise, there's always grants that's coming up, where I think I certainly will. I think most of the other people also will probably take a day off, and there's also going to be some time for my foot to heal there. Unfortunately, that piece of weather right there is coming right towards me, so it's time for the full rain kit. Rain jacket, rain skirt, and rain umbrella. Yeah, I think this is what they call isolated thunderstorms and rain. Alright, we're coming up to the border of the Cebolla wilderness. So for the next couple of miles, 15 miles or so, the trail actually winds its way through some canyons. And my hope is that we might be a little bit sheltered from the thunderstorm coming down around us. And what I also learned from the rancher that I spoke with yesterday is apparently there's both antelopes here, which is I saw earlier, and there's also herd of free roaming elk down here, which I would not have expected. I thought those were further up north towards Canada and northern United States, but they live down here and apparently they're huge. So maybe we get to see some elk. Well, unfortunately, my hopes were not fulfilled and the weather has caught up to me. But it's alright, it's just a light rain and a thunderstorm. So I think we're just gonna walk through it. Well, it looks like we are about to hit an impasse. Alright. So I guess we just have to jump down there, huh? So there's a little haunted cabin right on the trail. So I think I might just have a little snack break there, wait out the rest of the rain, then head on. Sweet, there's even a bed for a nap. The good news about the rain is that this entire trail, which would usually be sand, is now wet sand. And that's a lot easier to walk on. I wonder what causes these erosions. There's like all these pieces just ripped out of the ground and being swamped away. I mean, it's probably water, and these pieces somehow ended up down there. But those must be violent waters coming down here. You know what I said earlier about wet sand? That was true, but it's not true for wet clay. I mean, that stuff just sticks to your shoes like a brick and makes it really hard to walk. Stollenbildung wie im Schnee.
All of this is from one shoe.
That stuff sticks so bad, it's like walking on high heels. And because it's slippery as well, you just keep on sliding away, like walking in an ice field. It's extremely exhausting. And we're back to rain again. This is kind of like April weather, except that it's already May. During our little gathering in Pytown, which is more or less the halfway point of New Mexico, it also became apparent that shoes is the next big topic. I mean, the tread out here, which you have noticed seeing the other videos, is quite rough. It's changing a lot. There's lots of rocks, rocky landscapes, sand, dirt, all you can think of. And the sole of my shoes is, I think, about 2/3 gone. So they are certainly in their last stretch. And I have a new pair coming to Ghost Ranch, which is about 200 miles from here. And I hope it'll last that long. Other hikers weren't so fortunate, and their shoes were already falling apart. Now the shoes that I'm wearing, I picked specifically because both they fit me very well, and also because they have a reputation for lasting a little longer than the average trail runner, which sometimes gives up at around 350-400 miles. I expect to get 700, maybe 800 out of these ones. Oh, there's a herd of elk right in front of me. Like a big one on the left of the road. There's two small ones on the right. Oh no, I spooked them. And here they go. I'm not even 100% sure if they were elk, but if they were deer, they were huge deer. Right, these are the hoof tracks. So maybe somebody knows. Today's a real April day. The weather literally changes every 20 minutes completely. From bright sunshine, 80 degrees, to thunderstorm, wind, rain, cold. It's 5:45 and the day is coming to an end. It's about a mile left before we hit camp. I hit camp. And back there in the distance, you can already see the outskirts of Malpais. Fantastic water source. Unfortunately, it's extremely wind exposed, as these wide open areas always are. So I'm gonna find a different place to camp. And this kind of terrain is really hard to find shelter. So I'm trying to hide behind these trees here, which is a pretty good spot. It's soft and it's sheltered from two sides, so I think that'll do. Okay, wrapping today up. Because it was only half a day, I started after lunch. I did 13 miles through the Cebolla alternate, which is essentially almost finished. I'm about maybe a mile away from the road passing the El Malpais monument, which I'll go to tomorrow. It was a perfect day in a way because I mean the weather was a bit mixed, but I guess you can't expect 3 weeks of straight sunshine. So I just hope that the mixed weather front is through and there's not going to be any thunderstorms or anything of that sort tonight. The other thing I hope is that this very attentive cow, which is standing about 50 meters away, doesn't decide to come visit me tonight, because otherwise I'm going to freak out. Aside from that, I was at camp about an hour before sundown, which is really perfect. So I had time to cook, I had time to eat, I had time to clean, I had time to stretch, do all of kind of my pre-camp routine. And it's still light out, so I have a little time in the tent before I go to sleep. So in a way, I think that's my perfect rhythm. Trying to get to camp just shortly after 6, at least with the current daylight situation, seems to be the perfect match for me.